my shoes in Dublin. I borrowed a dead man's coat. I left it all behind me, and I stole onto the boat. I left it all behind me to be swallowed up by time. If they ever come and find me, may they pardon me my crime. They say I killed my father, but I only stole his name. He was murdered by a bottle, but I'll gladly share the blame. Murdered by a bottle, and maybe death has set him free. Now if I could only lose a ghost that hides inside of me. His ghost is in my mirror, and his ghost is in my mind. It's living underneath my skin, and it won't be left behind. I tried my best to kill it, but the damn thing never dies. It stands so hard above me, with whiskey in its eyes. Here is my confession, for whatever it is worth. I'm haunted by my father, just like every man on earth. Haunted by my father, like every ordinary jade. He hangs so dark above me, like a storm about to break. Cactus flowers, snow white blossom, shining like the desert moon. Lantern of the lost and dreaming, bright upon the shadow dunes. I come to you to learn forgiveness, call up my tears and let them flow. The water sighs beneath the bridges, along the road to Mexico. Sleeping village, silent fountain, roses on the garden wall, curtains blowing out from windows, whisper of the stars that fall. I come to you to learn forgetting, call up my fears and let them go. The wind is praying in the treetops, along the road to Mexico. Dolorosa mi vida, there's a promise I must keep. Lie down on your cloud of pillows, sail across the seas of sleep. Let this be my song of parting, one last kiss before I go. A flower opens in the moonlight along the road to Mexico. Played an old fiddle made over in Europe, recited the poets and quoted the bards. Rode out of the east on a sway Appaloosa, the cowboy from Boston with a sleeve full of cards. With a hey diddle ho riding high in the saddle, a pearl-handled pistol and a master's degree. Come 3,000 miles to the streets of Seattle, wet his fine whistle on some fresh Chinese tea. Sort of down east goes west to meet far east to see. Good man or bad depends on just who was talking. He bluffed like a champion or he lied like a snake. The ladies all swooned when he twirled his mustaches. They snuck out the back door to bring him some cake. With a hey diddle ho riding over the prairie, fancy pants holsters and a real silver spurs. The music he fiddled was so fine and airy. Looking up at the sky, he could name all the stars. He knew all his history and the generals and wars. Rode down the coast to the West Texas border, to the Mexican desert where the summer was fierce. He got all caught up in the good revolution. He fought at the side of an old man named Pierce. With a Viva Zapata he raised a loud holler, his gentleman's clothing all spattered with mud. He shot like a bandit and he talked like a scholar, cowboy from Boston, all hell-bent for blood. Just a cowboy from Boston won't come to no good. Not far from Houston, he stopped a stray bullet, and the last words he said lifted right off the page. It was something he learned from the poet of Avon, how all men are players and life is a stage. It was Viva la vida, that was how life had planned it. No one can say once that hand holds the bones. He talked like a scholar, but he shot like a bandit. The cowboy from Boston laying under some stones. The cowboy from Boston come a long way from home. The cowboy from Boston come a long way from home. Saturday morning, she stands in the garden, putting butterflies and buttercups in a little glass jar. Her daddy's an engineer with a gold earring in his ear and a blue locomotive he keeps by the water. Says good morning to his daughter in a civil tone. He goes down to the township where the people manufacture clocks, and they all wear bright knee socks, and they all know he's lonely, so they leave him alone. Charles is a soldier with a gun on his shoulder and a long pair of leather boots he polishes every day. In a uniform with gold brocade, he walks around the old stockade. Sometimes when he's lonely, he looks across the water at the engineer's daughter who is sitting there. He goes down to the township, throw away his spending cash, and because of his fine mustache, the ladies adore him, but he just doesn't care. When the blue locomotive returns in the evening, the father brings presents to his lovely young girl. They sit in the parlor where the fireplace is glowing. He shows her old photographs of her in her childhood and their life in the wildwood till he naps in his chair. She goes out to the garden where the fireflies flash on and off, and the night breeze blows sweet and soft, and dragonflies float in the soft summer air. Who is this maiden who stands in the garden? And who is this soldier keeping watch at his post? The jolly old engineer, what is he doing here? Perhaps they are dreaming, each one of the other, and each one's a memory, and each one's a ghost. And the little town is quiet now since the war shut the rail down, and the toy shops are shuttered, and the people in their knee socks with accordions and cuckoo clocks are all lost in the past. Of a man, him and me and my horse named Dan on a dusty road. Indian watching from a switchback ridge, ghost riders running up a cloudy bridge, twilight stealing in a corner of the sky, riding along thinking by and by I'll put down my load. Give me sweet fresh water and give me a cool, cool breeze. Let me lay my head down like a big white house with a pretty little wife inside and a moonlight palomino I can ride. There's a ghost town down where the creek ran dry, buzzard circle in the hard blue sky, dusty old bar, empty bottles on the shelf, piano in a corner that plays itself. It's a spooky sound. I hitched my horse to an old fence rail, fetched up water in a leaky pail. I get out of town before the daylight fails, 'cause I don't want to stick around. Give me sweet fresh water and give me a cool, cool breeze. Let me I'd like a big white house with a pretty little wife inside, and a moonlight palomino I can ride. Let me lay my head down in a grove of shady trees. I'd like a big white house with a pretty little wife inside, and a moonlight palomino I can ride. Well, the wind can blow so cold upon this mountain, where a soul with open eyes can see so far. A gypsy comes to take a rest and ponder, seeking comfort in the brandy in her jar. She shuts her eyes, she thinks just for a moment, then finds the lure of sleep much stronger than it seems. A lion comes to watch her while she's dozing, unless it's just a lion that she's dreamed. The cities and the towns spread out below her, full of people with their miseries and woes. They can't recall the majesty above them, of the night sky with its shining crown of stars. The full moon keeps a watch all night above her, but now the moon, the lion, and the stars are gone. She takes up her lute, her walking stick and satchel, and haunted by the lion, the gypsy travels on. And all the things we take to be so far away turn out to be much closer than they seem. Signposts by the road we pass unnoticed, the distance from the waking world to dreams. I have a little pony with star drops in her eyes. Her coat is slick and black as silk, and I call her Butterfly. I ride her in the valley where the river water's sweet. She drinks it like a lady and she prances with her feet. The eagle on the wing is chasing shadows in the sun, and lightning doesn't stand a chance when you see my pony run. Her mane flies out like fire when she's running with the wind. I know she'll never throw me, that pony is my friend. I started out in Dallas, since that's where I was raised. Took up a life of gambling, and all of my luck be praised. Went out to California where the streets were paved with mud. I bought a pair of pistols and I learned to thrive on blood. I shot a man in anger over something that he said, and I had to give up gambling when the gold turned into lead. I left all that behind me and I'm running with the wind. I know they'll never find me, that pony is my friend. I was heading out from Reno, but the desert got too big. I lost all my provisions and all my water dried. My pretty little pony fell down and broke a leg. I sent her to her maker and I laid down by her side. The buzzard on the wing is tracing circles in the sand, and a man cries out for water who's got diamonds in his hand. And now I've come to higher ground where the river's just begun, and I climb up on the mountaintop just to watch my pony run. I have a little pony with star drops in her eyes. Her coat is slick and black as silk, and a saddle she denies. I ride her in the valley where the river water's sweet. She drinks it up like champagne wine and prances with her feet. And I ride her in a hilly land where the river's just begun, and I climb up on the mountaintop just to watch my pony run. Calamity Jane comes down from the hills like the thunder and rain. A 6-gun goddess, 5 bullets shy. No one can tell if her life is a lie. Down from the hills like the wild night wind, everybody knows her. She hasn't got a friend, she's got a room upstairs in the Deadwood Bar. Dime novel hero and a rodeo star, shoots down dreams like bottles on a shelf, standing at the mirror and talking to herself. Jane, Jane, tall as a crane, who can believe and who can explain if her life is a legend or the legend is a lie? She shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky. What is the truth and what is the lie? Shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky. Shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky.